Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grew Room Show. And for the Grew Room Show today, we got two very cool guests, Dino Winwood and Vickie Ga- Guerrero. As you could tell, I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters, as you couldn't have told already by my little thing. But yeah, I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters, and we're going to have Vickie and Dino on to talk about Cut the Bull podcast. We're going to talk to them all about the podcast. We're going to ask Vickie some stuff, and my co-host is going to be my cousin Billy Rock. I am Rocco Cross, and welcome to my nightmare. Stay tuned for Vickie Guerrero and Dino Winwood. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome to Grew, and thank you both so much for taking time out of your night and coming on the show and doing this.
Yeah, we're excited, huh, Dino?
Absolutely, Vickie. We are definitely excited. Thank you guys for having us on here, and yeah, we're ready to hit the archives here with our wonderful presence. So let's do this.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, the first thing I want to do is start out with Dino, because we share a horror bond. And
Horror bond. That should be
I
a
see your
t-shirt.
posters behind you, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't look like Alice in Wonderland, I see.
That definitely would be an
not
interesting
unless-
casting, though. I'd pay to see that. So,
Well, I mean, how about if Chucky was chasing Alice?
I mean, that sounds like it could be an already existing fan film. I mean, there's definitely some interesting fan films out there.
You know, I can't watch horror movies because
Yeah, really?
because every time I'm in a hotel room by myself and it's thundering or there's a storm. I live in the country, guys, where there's coyotes and alligators and like wild hogs. And every time I'm by myself in the house, I swear someone's watching me through the window. So I can't watch that stuff, or else I lose my shit. Can I say
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, definitely. You could curse as much as you want on here. It's not.
Yeah, good. You're good.
Yeah, so scary movies are not good for me at all, especially that new movie, Megan.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've seen
Yeah.
that.
Really?
I was like, oh, thank you, look, it's a doll. And then I clicked on the trailer and I'm like, oh, hell no. No way. Yeah, I'm not good
Yeah,
at that.
but that was more comedy than horror.
Yeah, it's kind of a dark comedy, but
Dark. See, Rocco, it's dark. It's not even funny comedy. Yeah. Get your priorities straight, okay?
That's true. so Dino, you've done voice acting work, and you also are an author, and you do a little bit of wrestling too. So tell us a little bit about all of that you do.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've always fancied myself as a bit of an entertainer. I love the whole concept of being creative. Ever since I was about 5 years old, I loved this whole feeling of making people entertain, making people smile, and all that other stuff. And then I discovered it's just as fun to scare people as well. So I'm like, wow, I need to dive into this genre more. So I dove into horror stuff. Shout out to my cousin Anthony for educating me. But yeah, I mean, ever since I was about 5 years old, I've always wanted to be an entertainer, and I started watching wrestling. I started doing impressions, like for the old school out there. Michael Winslow from Police Academy was a huge inspiration for him. Like, that dude does sound effects with his what? So I just started, really practicing my best to do those sorts of things, and then it graduated into voices. But yeah, I mean, I love to write, I love to act, I do voice acting. I've definitely done some voices for Full Moon Features, the classic horror production company run by Charles Band. It's been interesting. My biggest gig there was I got paid to take over Gary Busey's role of the Ginger Dead Man. So
Classic role.
very classic role. There's the Buddy Holly story, and then there's Ginger Dead Man. So it's really, it's a good jump.
I've actually seen those films, so
Oh, it's nice to meet my fan base. So that's great. So what you think of them?
What's that?
What'd you think of them?
Well, they're
Well is always a good start to a review. Like, well, I'm like, yes, that's what I knew exactly what I was getting into when I took that role. So thank you.
yeah, exactly. And Vickie, like everybody knows you that's a wrestling fan, and you've done it all. You've been to WWE and AEW, and you've worked with so many legends, and from Stephanie McMahon to Nyla Rose. And so you also have your own show too. You're a podcast. It's in season 4. So can you tell us about your podcast first before we get to your newer one?
Yeah, so I mean, just like Dino, I love to talk to people. I love to research people and what they're about. And so I started my podcast probably like 3 years ago. So I'm on season 4 right now, and I love it. But this is kind of like the next step that I want to do with Dino is to go on Patreon. Which when my team said, "Hey, we're gonna do Patreon," I'm like, "Nude? Like, is what are we doing here?" And then Michael's like, "No, we're gonna like have tiers and stuff." And I'm not. You can ask Dino. I am not good at tech at all. So when you said Patreon, I was like, "Oh, we can make some money on here." But now that I found out that we're just talking, like I was just like, "Okay, no, we're just gonna be talking here." But no, the podcast is great. I interview everyone from celebrities to musicians to wrestlers, and I love it. So it's been a good turnout, and it's a great success. And so I try and release an episode once a week, and I'm on Spotify for podcasters, so it's a lot of fun. But I'm excited about my next project with Dino and my team. I think we have a really good chemistry with Dino and I, and I'm really excited about the next phase of this.
Awesome.
Nice.
And,
Yeah, that's
and for anyone who doesn't know, Vickie's podcast is named after her famous phrase.
Duh. Yeah, it's after excuse me. That's all I got, Rocco. I just have excuse me after 17 years. So I thought I would trademark it, and it's done really well for me. And just I get in this industry, I take what you have and run with it. So I've been able to take excuse me and use it on my merch, and especially when I go to indie shows, and to use it whenever I can. So so it's called Vickie Guerrero, the Excuse Me podcast, and that's it, folks.
And for you both, like I saw the video, the promo for the video for Cut the Ball. That was hysterical, and I loved how you build up the show. So can you tell us, I mean, who, if you both want to tell, or if one wants to tell, can you tell us what this show is? Like, is this going to be whatever you want to talk about? Is it going to be just wrestling? Is it going to be more than wrestling?
Dino, go ahead, start.
All right. Well, yeah, it's definitely going to have wrestling elements in it. I mean, we both have our respective fan bases that know us from professional wrestling, but it's also another platform for us to talk about other things that we enjoy: entertainment, music, just life in general. And in other words, to get the audience closer to really enjoy the conversations that we do, because we are both very interesting people. And I feel like the best type of connection with that is just, connecting with the audience. And yeah, I mean, so far what we've recorded, Vickie and I have definitely shown that we are pretty fun people to talk to. So
yeah, what's really exciting about working with Dino is that actually doing the teaser for TikTok, we had never worked together before. And so we just kind of called each other or text each other and just said, hey, these are our ideas. What do you think about this? And we kind of bounced ideas off each other. And actually the video came out really good. And I love the chemistry with Dino. I mean, I love the perspective that he has 20 years in the business, and I've I was born before him and a lot older than him. So I have another perspective of the wrestling industry. But, these last episodes that we taped, time goes by really quick because we have a lot to talk about. And something that Dino and I wanted to do was just to be really frank conversations, just be real with what we really want to say. And sometimes in social media, we can't say what we want because,
True.
fans kind of backlash or whatever. And we're not trying to disrespect anyone or any promotion, but I have a lot of insight. Dino has a lot of opinions. And I think that what we've done so far is really exciting. I think I know the fans are going to want to subscribe and just, enjoy what we have to say in these different topics that we have played out for the season.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Nice.
And
You don't say anything. Like, you just sit there.
no, Billy's
I'm just listening.
Billy's gonna come on. Don't worry.
I'll start talking. Once I have the questions, I'll be talking.
I just want to make sure you're okay because, I'm just checking on you.
Yeah.
And, so how did this? How did you two like find one another? Like, who reached out to who first?
Well, I had been contacted a while back by our producer Michael, because I'd started making a little bit of waves with this character that I used to do called Howdy Price on the smaller circuits, and I was like, "Hey man, I'm going to AEW for a cup of coffee." And he's like, "Oh, dude, that's crazy! Like, maybe I'll say hi to Vickie. Vickie, I've been telling her about you and stuff like that." I'm like, "Oh, well, that would be cool, yeah." Because I was on a show like a few years prior to that Vickie was a guest on, but like I was off like going through with my matches and stuff. I'm like, okay, we have a big star and a celebrity coming through. I'm not going to bother them. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I do something right and be very good at what I'm doing. But hopefully she sees. But well, I know, but like that's literally my mind frame at the time where I'm just like, oh shit, we have Vickie Guerrero coming? Oh fuck, that's crazy. Like completely marking out over it, which is like a big no-no mostly in the locker room. Now I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like I enjoy your work and I'm gonna tell you about it. It's nice to meet you. Hopefully you see my stuff. If not, that's okay. So but yeah, so like over the years, like I was like, okay, I did a great job. Vickie wasn't there. He goes, okay, well, I'll tell her, just let me know what episode she's on. So Michael was just constantly just corresponding back and forth between me and Vickie. And like one day he hit me up saying that, hey, there's a podcast idea that we have and Vickie sounds like she wants to work with you. I was like, oh, okay. Have you told her how I am? Like, that's my biggest concern because I'm like, you know how my personality is. You know that I'm very passionate about a lot of things, but like, I don't want it to come off as a surprise or anything. But it's like, no, she's totally cool with it, man. Just just be yourself. And that's been the case very much so with this. And every time that we come in contact talking about the show or talking about our upcoming bookings and stuff or passing around ideas, it's very nice. It's very refreshing. In my 20 years of being in the industry, I'm like, holy shit, somebody openly is talking to me back and forth about doing these ideas or wanting to do these ideas, and it's nice. It's just very, very nice and refreshing.
Rocco, it's just, I told Dino before, and I'm going to say this publicly, that just because of, whatever he's done in the wrestling industry does not make, because of where I'm at, does it make me any better than he is? Because he could probably have more insight than I have on wrestling history, which in the second or the first episode is true because I went off some social media topic that made me look like a total jerk and a not know-it-all host. And you'll see where that goes. But, I always open my mind to different people. And, Michael, our producer, and his assistant, Sandra, they're a great team and they always have these ideas. And so when they thought about collaborating, Dino and I'm always open to it, because I think that the more people, the merrier, and the more insight that he has. And I can kind of be myself. And this was a great project for me to start doing, especially leaving AEW, because I'm able to kind of be more of myself. Usually when under promotion, you're kind of you have these guidelines and this narrow, boundaries that you have to kind of, stay in whenever you're under a promotion. So this is a perfect timing for us to kind of get our subscribers built. And then once July comes and I'm off of AEW, then I'm able to really say what's on my mind.
Oh, wow. Well, I see why the show is called this now, Cut the Bull, because when Vickie's allowed to speak her mind, she's been in both big wrestling promotions, so a lot of stuff's going to be said.
Yeah, and it's something. I think me and Dino made it to where it's not about insulting the business or anything. Yeah. It's just, I have a lot of behind the scenes and how things are run, and with the talent too. So we kind of, feed off each other. So I'm really excited about the topics that we've created, and we're still building more topics. I mean, our producer, Michael, is working so hard at things. I mean, all me and Dino do is sit there and talk. We have the easy part. Michael has to do all the work. I'm like, okay, Michael, we're done. See you later. We're coming out.
I'm like, man, this is what it's like to have a show. Awesome.
We're exhausted, huh, Dino?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Just like, oh, Vickie's leaving. Cool. I can leave too. Thank you, Michael. We're gonna go now. We did our part, but no, we do our best to help each other. Let that be known, everybody. But Michael and Sandra definitely, they're cranking the levers to make sure that these wonderful gears are constantly turning. So.
And Sandra does our graphics, so she created the logo, which was outstanding. I loved it when she created it, and I just love that Dino knows how his image wants to be portrayed and how he wants to be personified in the public, and I have mine. And I think that's what makes us so great, is that we're able to be our own individuals, but come together and have a conversation that we can agree to disagree, which I'm sure we're going to disagree in some stuff coming up, which I think is amazing, because some talk shows, they want to please the whole audience and not wrestle any waves. And I love that we can kind of be ourselves and, just take it for what it is.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt.
Billy has his questions.
I'm ready to take over, Rocco. I'm ready to take over the podcast.
Yes.
Thanks very much. Okay. Excuse me.
That sucked.
Sorry.
Yeah, that wasn't good, Bill. Don't do that again.
If you're gonna at least try a little harder.
All right. I'll let you take over that one, Vicky.
All right.
So, what do you both think was the greatest feud in pro wrestling?
Ooh, there's a bunch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really thinking about it. We don't want to, those of you who are not paying attention and are listening to this as you clean your house, we're not just giving them one-worded answers. We're not dicks. We're just literally thinking about it right now, okay? Our greatest moments? I mean, for me, I'm a minimalist. A lot of people, if you see the way I dress for a lot of things, you think this guy is not a minimalist. I really am a minimalist kind of person. A lot of the great moments in my career that I felt are definitely what would be considered small victories, but to me, a kid from literally just a small city in Los Angeles, have always dreamt about. So going to Germany, going to England with my friends. I mean, I did it on my own dime at the time, and having people chant your name in a foreign country. Granted, yes, England, they speak English, but in Germany as well. Hearing that, you're just like, holy shit, these people know who I am? How is that even possible? I know we have DVDs or message boards and shit like that, but I went over there when YouTube was not a thing. So tape trading and everything was still a thing. So the fact that I would hear these people in a place that I had to fly hours upon hours for are chanting your name, and I'm just like, how did I get here? This is insane. And being here with my friends, that, to me, I was just like, dude, we made it. I literally could just go away tomorrow and I'd be fine with this. But I mean, I had the goals and the dreams and aspirations. I wanted to go to Mania. I wanted to go to Japan, doing whatever it is I wanted to do. I wanted to be a comedy wrestler. I wanted to be a manager. I wanted to be everything that allowed me to express myself. And so knowing that me just being me got overseas and people were like, oh yes, we heard of you, you're fantastic. I'm like, oh my god, that is, wow. First off, you're awesome. Like, what is your name? And like, you know, if anything, I want to know the fan that's talking to me, like, how the hell do you know who I am? And it doesn't even matter. Like, I'm constantly going to be that shocked by it. I'm like, wow, thank you so much. Like that's why I did this. Like I was always curious if anything that I ever did reached anybody. And so anytime that somebody comes up and says, hey, I know your stuff from PWG, or I know your stuff from New Legacy Inc., or I know your stuff from Championship Wrestling. And I was like, wow, thank you so much for watching. Like, can I get a picture? I'm like, of course you get a picture. Can I get a picture with you? And like, because like whenever anybody tries to get a picture with me, I give them the fan reaction. Because you always see fans taking pictures with wrestlers and they're just like, well, I do that for them. So yeah, any of those moments, or like going to Atlanta to manage my boy Levi Shapiro, fantastic worker. Like, it's just being able to travel to do what I love to do is just completely otherworldly to me. I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, to me, that's my great moment.
Nice.
Gosh, I think for me, it was just going from a housewife to a wrestling superstar, which was very unknown to me and to everyone else, from family to friends to the fans of the wrestling world. You know, I was always known as Eddie's wife, and that's the only reason that I was offered that position. And it was only supposed to be meant for 2 months. So to be able to go from 2-month contract to now I'm going on 17 years, I really had to prove a lot to myself and to everyone else that I wanted to be in that ring to entertain. So to know that I had to believe in myself. And then when I started finding that I had this craft that I love to manipulate the audiences, to find one person in the crowd that's smiling and looking sweet at me, to by the time I left the ring, that she wanted to murder me. I was like, yeah, this is what I live for. Like, this is amazing. And I would go to bed, happy, because I'm like, I got the fans going from, cheering to booing me. And that's the art of the wrestling. It's theatrics. It's the manipulation of, how you can get that crowd and turn them around. And I love that. And so that's probably my biggest feat, is to prove to myself and to everyone else that not only did I got offered the job, but I wanted to earn my place. And that's something that was very important to me and special to me to this day.
Wow.
Nice. So for Cut the Bull podcast, will you be bringing in guests onto the interview too?
Yes. Yeah. We've talked about, we want to have some guests, and with the different tiers that we have, the fans are going to be very interactive with us. If they get the higher tiers, we have a lot of goodies for them and surprises. So I think that's going to be a great aspect of our show, is that we're going to, have a variety of people, from wrestlers to entertainers. And, I know some people, so I'm trying to get them on the show. So I think for us to have a wide range, it's going to really be fun for Dino and I to entertain not only the guest, but entertain the fans that are watching the guest get entertained by us.
That's awesome. So this is a question for you, Vickie. You just did the Jericho cruise. How was that experience like?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I love cruising. I mean, that's like my favorite thing to do. So to be on the ocean is like my most serenity time that I could ever enjoy in my life. But the Jericho cruise is amazing. I mean, Chris Jericho, for what he has built as far as his branding of getting this cruise ship to bring wrestling fans, and then to bring, these rock fans on, and comedians, and to entertain the fans 24/7, for 4 days or 5 days.
Yeah.
It's been incredible, because you think that activities don't start till 10 in the morning. No, they're going 24 hours. Like, there's always something to do, and the bars don't close, and the restaurants don't close, and the fans are incredible because they're paying for an experience to be with us. And it's just almost like it's just like a dream come true, because the fans just want to pay to be with us. But I'm also fortunate to be with the fans, because without them, we can't make this work, for us to enjoy what we like to do. So it's kind of like Dino, like, I'm going to be with the fans going,
Yeah.
which I probably was when I was drinking too much. I was doing a lot of pointing, like jazz hands. But
Yes.
it's cool. It's really neat. And so the Jericho Cruise is already sold out for next year. So Chris just keeps doing bigger bands, and it kind of shows my age because he had Quiet Riot on, and I was like, me and like 15 other people were in the crowd going, yeah, and all these young kids are going, who is that? I'm like, yeah, y'all need to go to bed. We're gonna party right here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, me and the Rocker are going to go next year to the cruise in January.
Yeah, to Jericho Cruise. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You won't be disappointed at all. Chris is amazing, and the team is just incredible. And you can't go wrong with a cruise and drinks and food and entertainment. So and my daughter, she's a lifetime. She's with the Vaudettes, so they have a burlesque dancing group, and she's incredible. And I love all the women that are part of that group, and so I love to go and just be their cheerleader and help them set up and make sure they're okay. Like I'm in the mom mode, like, you guys okay before y'all strip your clothes off? We're going good. It's fun, and it's a good time, and I love that everyone just has fun entertaining the fans. So it's all good. You're gonna love it. I promise you.
Yeah, I can't wait. Cannot wait. All right. So do you both think of Stephanie McMahon stepping away? What do you think of Stephanie McMahon stepping away from WWE?
Go ahead, Dino.
Okay. Well, I mean, I always assume that what they're doing, they feel that they are doing it for business. Stephanie McMahon has always seemed to be a no-nonsense kind of person to me. And so if she feels like, okay, this is the right way to go, she's going to do that. I mean, it's the importance of, is the product going to be better for it, or is the product going to suffer for it? But at the same time, like, she is definitely going to do what she feels is better for that product. And that's the risk one takes, especially with pro wrestling. It's like, okay, well, someone's coming back in. That's fine. I mean, me personally, from my perspective, I'm like, okay, you want me to step down? I'll step down. And, if it doesn't work, I can just come right back and, give it my own flavor. So, no sense in too much resistance, but definitely some reservation.
Nice.
I think there's always a revolving door, in the wrestling industry. You see Triple H step up, and then you see, Vince left, but for other reasons. But then Stephanie left. Stephanie has always been in and out of the business, before being a mom, and then now her girls are older. So I'm sure there's that aspect that she wants to be home because the girls are in their teenage, high school years, which I totally get that. But, I think in some way, her being married to Triple H, like, she's always in his ear. So I'm sure that her creative decisions are always heard in some good fashion, so I think she's always a part of it. She's just not there permanently in the office, to give her opinion about it.
Okay. Nice. So Vickie, you're leaving AEW. When your contract is up, how was your time there working with Nyla Rose and AEW heels?
Oh, wait, did she
You might have gotten a bad signal.
Oh, Billy, I didn't hear you.
There we go.
Okay. So you're leaving AEW, right? When your contract is up, how was your time there working with Nyla Rose and AEW heels?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Did it happen again?
I think so.
No.
This question was not meant to be answered.
I don't think it's a man.
Yeah, this question was not meant to be answered. Can I, if I may, at the leisure of our host, may I ask the question real quick?
Yeah, sure, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Vickie. So when your contract is expired with AEW, what was your time like there working with Nyla Rose and AEW heels? This question is not meant to be asked.
So I think we might have to. We might have to skip over this question when Vickie.
Art was working.
Okay.
I'm happy.
Well, wait, is she on? Is she on?
Sorry, Vicky. The internet is just out of whack.
Is it?
Is she?
Are you on?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. No,
all
because
right.
it froze before. It froze.
We're
That's
gonna
why.
have Dino ask the question, or
Okay, Dino,
right,
ask the question that I just asked Vicky.
Okay. So when your contract expires with AEW, what was your time like working with Nyla as well as AEW heels?
Nyla, I love her to pieces. I love her story. I love everything she represents. We had a good time. She's a hard worker, and I'm gonna miss working with her. AEW Heels it's an incredible community. I love what they built, and I wish them continued success. But as far as like the creative part of AEW, 3 years, I really didn't get into much of the character, so it's just time to vamonos and do my own thing.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Nyla as well. When me and my buddy Leroy went to do our episode of Dark, she was one of the first that communicated with us when we got there. I was wearing a Lament configuration mask at the time. And she's like, "Oh, Hellraiser mask, awesome!" Like, right? Thank you. So yes, if you need further proof that Nyla Rose is one of the coolest people ever, there it is. So.
And she's so funny. Like she doesn't even portray her character of what she really is backstage. Like she should do stand-up comedy. Like and it's so funny because she'll crack jokes in the middle of her match. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like you're on my TV right now. You want to crack a joke, But I love her to pieces, and I will definitely miss her.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember when you and her were dressed as nuns.
Oh, the naughty nuns with Ryzen. Yeah. I love Ryzen. Like, because in Jacksonville we were taping during COVID, so we were there from 1 p.m. to like 3 a.m.
Oh my God.
And so you worked like 2 matches, and you probably had like 8 hours free. So we're like, let's do something fun. So they had behind the scene, be the elite, behind the scenes on YouTube. And Ryzen came with this great idea. And of course, me and Nyla, anything sexual nuns, we're like, yeah, let's do it. We're like all for it. And it was fun. It was a great time, and it lasted. And then they kind of, we started traveling, and we couldn't, tape as much as we wanted to. But that Ryzen is a character. Like he's hilarious. And if you haven't seen our episodes, please check them out, because the blue pill is amazing for Ryzen.
Nice. So I want to ask both of you this question. This is going to be a good one. What are both of your thoughts on the Dominic and Rey Mysterio storyline currently?
I mean, I'll answer quickly on that one. I think it's fantastic. It was very much inevitable that Dominic was going to get involved, whether it be WWE or that one moment in Lucha Underground. I'm just like, okay, they're prepping him to come in for this. And I think it's a fantastic education that he's going to have, especially with its multiple federations. And so seeing him in full tilt now, I'm just like, yes, this kid knows that he's part of this family legacy. He knows that he's a part of, really rich history within the industry, whether it be Lucha or WWE. And so seeing him just be so comfortable and having fun with it is very, very awesome to see. So that's my perspective.
Yeah, I mean, they're family. Yeah, they're family to me. So to see Dominic, be able to be on the main roster, and I love Rhea. I mean, I text her all the time, and to see, the storyline build, I wish I was there, because it sounds like so much fun. But it's incredible, and I love it, and I support them, and I think and Ray's going into the Hall of Fame, so it's a good year for, Oscar and his family, so I'm really happy for them.
Yeah, it really is. And this one's for you, Vickie. What did you like most about being involved in the Edge and Undertaker feud?
I loved it. Love the storyline. With Edge, he was my biggest mentor, and to be able to work with Undertaker, he was deathly frightening, and he was just incredible to work with. And I have more insight on that, whenever we have our topics on our show, but it's all family. It's all, they trusted me. I trusted them. And if it wasn't for Edge, I don't think I would be in this business the way I was today, because he just opened so many doors for me. So I'm always internally grateful for him.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And you know, this is a question for you both too. Vickie, you are one of the best heels ever of all time, in and out of the ring. Like, what do you both think makes a great heel and getting good heat?
You want to go first, Dino?
Oh no, let's I mean, yeah, if you want me to. Because I really want to, I really love hearing your philosophy on things. So like I'm trying to like
then I'll talk. Then I'll oh, he froze.
okay, there we go. Yeah.
So
We got
okay,
you.
so all right, so for me, to be a good heel, you have to believe in your character. I think you have to love the business 24/7 and to really be invested in that character, and to respect the person you're working with, and to be on the same page to make that storyline gel with everyone, and to be a team leader. I think that's just an amazing aspect of being a manager and a heel. And I love being a bad guy. And me and Dino talked about this. I think a baby face is very boring. I think it's hard to keep the fans loving you. So
Yeah.
I can piss off anyone in 2 minutes, and I think it worked right with me. And so I just love the manipulation. If I can manipulate, a few people in the crowd, then I'm doing my job, and I'm happy for that moment.
Absolutely. I totally agree with Vickie on that one. It's definitely, it takes a commitment to it. You have to connect to that character. You have to put a little of yourself in there. And if you're gradually known as a very nice person, it's very, very therapeutic in a way to just explore that darker side of you, to get under the skin of the person that you are working with. But at the same time, if you want to discuss something like, hey, I'm thinking of saying some real heavy shit,
Yeah.
so I just want to run this by you on what we're doing. Yeah, I mean, being a heel, you definitely have to know that if you expect these people to hate you, you have to give them a reason to hate you. And like whenever I worked as a baby face, people just naturally say, oh, you literally have a child's face. So let's see if, we can really, we want people to really sympathize with that. I'm like, no, I want to be I want to be that kid that they want to kick, like literally, like, and stop saying I have a child's face, you asshole. Like, it's something that I definitely to me, it's so much more fun because it really puts into that creativity of yourself, while at the same time, like, do you want to be the annoying heel? Do you want to be the one where you're like, you get your face, ha ha, I told you, you see that right there? Your favorite is getting destroyed by my guy. Or do you want to be, I'm going to take your favorite person, I'm going to just completely destroy them in front of you. And then I'm going to smile the second that I see your tears start to drop. Like, do you want to be scary? Do you want to be silly? Like, to me, that's the clay. That's the clay that you mold with and that you make something out of it. Well, as babyface, I feel it's just so easy. I feel like it's colored by the numbers, man. Like, you literally could just be minding your own business and then straight up like, hey, buddy, huh, boom. She's like, oh, he wasn't doing anything, boo, that sort of thing. No, so much more fun to be a heel manager, but you gotta have that type of commitment.
Yeah, and then also, to get that cheap heat, me coming in as Eddie's wife, and then to get with Edge. I mean, even Vince McMahon was like, "Oh my God, this is gonna piss everybody off," and I was like, and also as a heel, you have to have a thick skin because we're usually the ones that get the worst treatment from the fans, and which I love. I mean, all the elderly women that wanted to like throw popcorn in their drinks at me because they hated that Edge was in love with me, and they wanted Edge. I was just like, I love this. Like, I love that I am pissing you off, you old lady. And I don't give a shit, so it was just really fun.
Yeah, old ladies are definitely the fun target. That sounds very cold-blooded, but they get the most into it. Like I did, Vickie was saying throwing popcorn and drinks and stuff at you. Someone at a low-level show that I was doing early in my career, was throwing like bags of chips at me.
Oh
Like,
my
here you
God.
go, fatty, and everything else. Like, oh, you gave me chips. Thank you so much. I stomped on them and kicked them right back into their direction. So you see just potato chip glitter going into the audience. And you're like, what the fuck, you asshole? And it's like literally just going back to working the match and hoping, like, God, I hope I don't feel a nice sharp pain in my back from doing that because I'm
Right.
turning my back to them. But
Yeah. You know, the best part about, you know, on national TV, you really can't do it that much, but I love indie shows because you have so much creative control. And the best part of being a woman that's a heel is insulting the women that are in the audience. So that's been my favorite audience to piss off, because anyone that knows a woman, they all have a bitch side to them. So you can take a woman in an instant, you know, standing by her boyfriend, and all I have to do is like just throw a kiss at him in front of her, and she can't touch me, and you know I can't touch her, but the emotional distress that she knows that her husband is looking at me and I have his attention, it's like magic. Like I thrive on that. So on TV you really can't do it too much, but on indie shows, I love indie shows because they're so much fun to have, you know, take your time and just play with them.
Yeah, definitely. I was at one the other night. Saturday night, it was at Battleground Championship Wrestling. It was so much fun.
awesome.
I love those.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was down by 2300 Arena.
Oh yeah.
CW Arena, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is like a non-wrestling question. Like, if you two were doing a karaoke song, I mean, don't have to be you two are doing it together, like separate. Like, if you're doing a karaoke song, what would be your song?
Ooh.
We
Well, I
have to
love
do
karaoke. Yeah.
do it together though, you know.
You want to do a duet?
Okay,
so,
you can do it together.
Yeah, because like I know that we both can really rock the shit on our own. So like I'm really trying to think like what could we do, because I'm a person who doesn't like conventions, so we can't do the "I Got You, Babes" or like Ebony and Ivory, that sort of thing. So like I really feel like we really should do something like, because I'm a kid who grew up with big-haired mom and auntie playing their music when they're, you know, taking me and my cousin to the pizza parlor. So we're literally gonna do like meeting in the ladies' room, the men all pause, that sort of thing. Like literally just 80s disco that you hear at the swap meet or flea market for anybody who doesn't know what a swap meet is. But like, you know, like I grew up with that stuff. So yeah, if Vickie wants to belt out anything, Weather Girls, Pointer Sisters, Apollonia 6, whatever, I'm down for that. So legitimately.
I can wear the thigh-high boots too for Apollonia.
I'll do that shit. I have great legs. A lot of people don't know this about me. I have fantastic stems. So
This could be a great episode for our show.
I'm
There
down.
you go.
I'm so down for this. So
There you go.
Oh
I
man.
was thinking like Islands in the Stream, like with Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton, like we could
That's a
hit
good
that
one.
off.
I could work.
Yeah.
I got hats.
Respect.
Oh my
Hell
God.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. And like, what was like the last song that was stuck in your head? You know, one of those songs that you sing all day?
Oh shit. That's a lot every day for me because I love music. So anything that clicks, because like my brain just was like, oh, I heard something that reminds me of this. Like, for example, if someone welcomes somebody to like an orientation or a place, like, oh, hey everybody, welcome to orientation. My brain always clicks to Welcome to the Jungle. So I say, we got fun and games. Like hoping that somebody's like, I got that too. But I say the last song that got stuck in my head, Positive K, I Got a Man from 1990. So like, I got a man. What your man got to do with me? I got a man. I'm not trying to hear that. See, like that shit still slaps, like legit. So
Gosh, I think mine is Big Energy from Lotto. I mean, I was working out today, so I always,
hell yeah.
I always have music on though. Like I love music, even if I'm just in the house and doing stuff. Like music is on rather than the TV. So yeah, I love all kinds of music.
Yeah, it just helps you get things done. You know, it helps time
It
pass.
does.
It inspires you. Like it's a great gift.
Puts you in a really good mood too.
Oh, yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure.
It really does.
And What's your drink of choice? Like if you two were out having a drink, what's your drink of choice?
Ooh, Michelob Ultra with tequila.
Ooh,
Oh damn.
Great
I
choice.
Okay.
like it. I
I'm
like it.
a I'm a bit of a 70s spinstress when it comes to my booze of choice. So it's got to be a whiskey sour. So
Ooh,
Okay.
I can't do liquor. I can only tequila is good for me and beer. Like, I can have a good time on those two.
I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to beer. So like, because I accidentally drank beer when I was a kid. That's legitimate right there. I'm just like, oh look, somebody left their water bottle here from McDonald's. Take it. That's not soda. Oh, I'm like, no, mijo, don't drink from that. I'm like, okay, I won't. But like that was completely accidental. But like as I grew older, I drank like Stiegel Radler. It's this, I believe it's a Swedish beer or something like that. It basically tastes like a squirt. So it tastes like squirt soda,
Oh,
but
I
it's a
remember
chill kind
Squirt
of beer.
soda, yeah.
So
I
shout out
always
to
take I take my beers dressed with salt on the bottle, and you lick the salt.
Nice.
hell yeah.
Nice. And what about food? Is there a food that you both love the
Ooh.
most?
Ooh, Mexican food.
I mean,
Ah,
Mexican food, if you got good Mexican food, you're down for business. Second for me is Italian, but like me being a Cali boy my whole life, like literally just living here and going other places, I am a sucker for good barbecue. Like
yes,
legitimate.
definitely.
Like and I'm not just talking like ribs, chicken, and hot wings. I'm talking like carne asada. Like, you know, you get the chile peppers, you put them on there and you cook them up, like anything. If you got a good grill going, with seasoned meats. The meats have to be seasoned, people. I cannot stress this enough. As we go about into the world, a lot of people are not dressing their meats. Dress your meat with seasonings, for the love of God.
Yeah, I'm a steak and baked potato person. I love.
Hell yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
I love, and then I'm always eating the desserts first before dinner. So I eat those again.
I agree with that theory. Because like a lot of times you're like, shit, I really want to get a dessert, but I'm so full. But it's like, no, I'm gonna have that lava cake before I get this. So yeah, can you bring that first?
Yeah,
Good philosophy.
And is there anything coming up for you two that you want to plug? I mean, I know your show is coming out. Is there anything coming out for you both on your own too?
Go ahead, Dino.
Okay. Well, I mean, I do a weekly broadcast of was it a game simulation with two other wrestlers, Andrew Everett and Rosemary. It's one of her
Oh, I know
personalities.
her.
Yeah, we do a show called Dub 3. You can follow us at official Dub3 W3 on Twitter, but we do commentary over Fire Pro Wrestling using original characters made from the AKI universe.
I love
But
Fire Pro Wrestling.
we make it like an actual show. There is backstage segments that are animated. There are like
Nice.
video packages to the matches. Like we literally just said, hey, let's do a show. Let's make our own show, but not spend any money on it. Just give our time. That's about it. And I also broadcast New Legacy Inc. You know, we just dick around on those. It's pretty fun. But I also got a show coming up, Mania weekend, Guy Steele's early morning show.
Whoa.
Which will be probably pretty much my last wrestling match ever. It's myself or my roommate, Howdy Price, closing out his missing hat or stolen hat saga, which started in AEW Dark with -1 taking away my hat. And so he's been going crazy about it over the years. And so this group, the Hat Boys, they have the hat now because -1 sent it to them. And so, yeah, Howdy Price is going to show a whole new side in his final form. So that's coming up on June 30th. So check it out.
nice.
Hey,
-1.
His greatest enemy.
that kid gets more TV time than I do.
Yeah, I know, Vickie. I know.
No, but for me, I'm going to be I work at HSN. I'm a crafting influencer, which I love crafting. I love doing that, and I'll be doing some Comic Cons, and I'm I'll be employed until July with AEW, and then I'll be able to say I'm unemployed. And so I have some projects on the works, but I can't say anything right now because you'll see me on TV very soon. But yeah, some good stuff coming up. Yeah, I'm excited.
It's awesome.
Yes, exactly. I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes next.
Vickie, you have to come back to Icons of Wrestling.
Yes.
Oh, I just did that was it in November? I think I did that. It was
I think
yeah,
so.
I just went there. Yeah, so I'll have to wait a little bit and then go back in maybe in 2 years. But that's a great show.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's, you know, it's important. Yeah, everybody comes together and it's like family.
Yes.
Oh, it definitely.
I love the arena there. So much history there.
Yeah, it really is. It's awesome.
And where can fans follow you both at? Like, does your podcast have like a page too?
They can find me on Spotify. Also, my Instagram is at Guerrero_Vickie, and my Twitter is at Vickie Guerrero. I also have a website that's VickieGuerrero.net, and on Patreon, you're gonna find me there. So we're gonna be having lots of fun there. So yeah, please follow us, subscribe. Everyone just showing us a lot of love.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you can follow me at Howdy Price DW on Twitter, and my funky fresh Instagram handle of Dizzle Whizzle 983, because you know I'm with it, kids. I'm totally not going into my 40s this year. But yeah, you can follow me on that on Instagram. And yeah, I mean, just also catch me on Cut the Bull with the wonderful Vickie Guerrero.
Sweet. I mean, I don't know if you want to or not. Vickie, do you want to end the podcast with your phrase?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, but thank you guys for having me and Dino. We appreciate your time, and just your love and support. It just means the world to us. And I have 2 words for you.
She's the greatest.
She really is.
Absolutely is.
What happened to the? It froze again?
Did it freeze
No,
again?
she's going. She's going.
Yes.
Did it freeze during my excuse me?
It did.
Oh no!
Oh, no. Can you do it again?
It's only Monday, guys. It's only Monday. Well, like I said, again, am I good right now? Am I good?
Yes.
You're good. Go.
I want to thank you guys for having us again on the show. Thank you for your love and support. I'm doing this a second time, and I'm just not happy about this. But on the other hand, I have 2 words for you.
Thank you, Vickie. I love it. Thank you. All right, everyone, have a great night. Vickie and Dino, thank you so much for taking time out. I appreciate you coming on and talking about your brand new show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having us. It was an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Take care.